What if I told you that learning a language isn't just about words? It's about transforming your entire life. It happened to me and it can happen to you too. Speaking multiple languages, English, Spanish, and Polish, completely changed my life, with Polish being my native language. English gave me freedom to travel, to connect with people, and to start my own business. Spanish brought me closer to new cultures and a beautiful relationship with my Spanish boyfriend. And now it plays a significant role in my business. I'm gonna talk about it later in this video.
But Veronica, what if I have an accent? What if I can't use this language in real life because I'm so afraid of speaking to native speakers?
I went through American pronunciation training, but sometimes when I speak in English, some Polish sounds slip. And well, that's okay. I am from Poland and this is my story. I put a lot of time, energy, and effort to learn this language. Don't let your accent stop you from achieving spectacular things. When I was 15, I took part in a students' exchange in Madrid. It was like a language exchange in European Union. It's called the Erasmus Project. Most probably some of you are familiar with it. This was a life-changing experience for me. This was when I understood that every language I speak is a passport to a better future. Every language you speak is like a passport that unlocks a new reality. What do I mean by that? I am a digital nomad, guys. I have geographical freedom. It means that I can live and work in any place in the world I want. That's fantastic. Right now, I am in Thailand. It's December 30th of 2024 and I am in Thailand. It's 30 degrees outside. In my country, in Poland, it's very cold. I don't want to spend my time in cold countries. And I have this privilege that I can choose where I want to be and where I am spending my time. I live my life on my own terms. All thanks to my willingness to get out of my comfort zone and obviously, languages. Without English, everything would be impossible. And without Spanish, most probably a lot of amazing things in my life would not be possible. So let's talk about why language learning is life changing, how it changed my life, and how it can change your life. First of all, we're gonna focus on new opportunities that languages can give you. Just a sip of coffee, and let's go. So, being bilingual makes you stand out. You have more opportunities than other people. It's harsh, but it's true. If you speak your native language and if you speak English, you have more opportunities even in your own country. For example, when I was still in Poland, I was like 19, 20, 21, because I was coming and going. I found it easier to find a job, even in Poland, speaking English. Without English, the opportunities were kind of limited. So, step by step. When I was 19, when I graduated from high school, I moved to the UK. My English at that time was pretty broken, to be honest. I knew English like 50-50, I would say. I wasn't speaking very well, and I moved to Manchester. The accent in Manchester is, let's call it, challenging. When I first started looking for a job in Manchester and had some interviews, I was like, oh my God, I don't understand the questions because their accent is so difficult for me to understand. But finally, I somehow adapted. I managed to find a job, a pretty good job. I was working as an admin clerk. That was a good job for a 19-year-old from Poland in the UK. At that time, I wanted to make more money and I started working as a cleaner. I was working two full-time jobs, mastering, my English skills. Even though I don't speak with British accent, it really helped me. Like, this experience was really crucial for my life. I was working very hard, 16 hours, 18 hours a day, two full-time jobs, so imagine. But it really made me stronger. Now the question is, why did I do it? because I wanted to save money to travel the world. And I did it, guys. I did it. And it was spectacular. I was 19, traveling around Asia, around Europe. Yeah, I could afford it because I worked so hard. So I achieved my dreams, I achieved my goals. But without English, even broken English, that would be, guys, impossible. I moved to Malta. Malta is an English speaking country. I found the job by basically walking around and leaving my CV. And I found a job as a waitress. That was a life changing experience as well because I was practicing my English while working, making money, not a lot of money, but still making some money. Long story short, I'm 25, almost 26, and during all these years, I had a lot of different jobs. I was cleaning toilets, I was a waitress, I was a hostess, I was selling stuff, I was working in offices, so many different jobs. I was picking up grapes, by the way, in Germany. I have a lot of experience in many different jobs in many, many different countries. And again, I'm coming to one conclusion. Without English, impossible. And I also create ads in Spanish for Promova, for example, and I also create ads in Polish. So I use three languages to make money, and you can do it as well. Connect your hobby with your job. I mean, that would be a perfect case scenario if you do what you love and you find a way to use all of your languages, even if for now it's your native language and maybe English, to make money. I know that you are smart. I know you can find a way, as I found a way. Languages have a huge impact on my personal growth. If you had met me 5 years ago, you wouldn't have recognized me. I was a different person. And I used English, and now I'm using Spanish as well to learn from the best mentors, to listen to the top people who made it. I listen to a lot of coaches, doctors, millionaires, psychologists, psychotherapists, you name it. I use English to learn, to grow as a person. I use Spanish to learn, to grow as a person. And now I use Spanish to grow my business. By the way, today I did something big. I invested in one of the best mentors in Spanish world, let's say, to grow a personal brand. I learned Spanish and now I can use this language. I can use Spanish as a tool to grow my business, to help more people. This is simply priceless, guys. Using languages to help other people. I can use English to help you. Hopefully, you're gonna get inspired, or maybe you're gonna hear one sentence from this video that will change your life, reality, or maybe will change something in your life. If I spoke just Polish, just my native language, my audience would be limited, right? You are most probably not Polish, and if you are, cześć, miło cię widzieć. But if you are not Polish, you can maybe learn something new that's going to change something in your life. What else I wanted to tell you? Of course, the most important point for me, I started trauma healing in English. I was following a lot of content creators who were talking about trauma. I realized that a lot of things that are happening inside of me, inside of my body, are symptoms of PTSD, for example. This is how I kind of started discovering my trauma because, briefly, when you go through a traumatic event, you can forget about it because it's so traumatic, it's so difficult to handle. I'm talking about childhood trauma, that you simply forget about it. I discovered all of these things in English. So you could say that without English, I would continue to struggle with my symptoms without knowing what the hell is happening with me. When it comes to trauma healing in different languages, I also did family constellations in Spanish. Family constellations is some form of therapy that Mark also talks about in his book. Anyway, I did constellations in Polish, in Spanish. I could say that all these three languages are absolutely crucial for my self discovery and my self improvement. Sometimes you start learning a language and you think it's all just about words. In reality, then the universe starts surprising you and you open and unlock new realities. Quite literally, relationships. One of the most important relationship of my life is with my Spanish boyfriend. Obviously, when we started dating, we were talking in English because I didn't really speak Spanish at the time. But if not English, I wouldn't have met him. And I met him on the street in Tenerife, by the way. That's quite a story. We started speaking English at the beginning, then I was learning Spanish, and now we speak only Spanish. I made a lot of business partners who speak just English or just Spanish. Traveling, I don't have to mention, right? You know that I travel full time. You can go to my Instagram, Wannaspeak by Veronique, and there you can see where I travel. But basically, I managed to visit more than 50 countries around the world. Last year, 2023, was pretty dope because we had a trip all around the world. We started in Madrid, then we were traveling around Asia, and then from Japan, we had a flight to America, the US, Canada, Mexico, and then we came back to Madrid from the other side. Obviously, the US, Canada, I was speaking English all the time, Mexico, Spanish, a few practical tips to get started, or maybe to give you this kick in your butt of motivation so you can continue studying your dream language and finally get fluent. Immersion is the key. Full immersion. Focusing on real life communication and real life language over perfection. So, when I started learning Spanish, by the way, I got fluent in Spanish in just 7 months. That's why I think what I'm about to share is really valuable. When I started learning Spanish, I started by watching. I was immersed completely. I was still in Poland, okay? I wasn't in Spain at that time, and I started binge watching shows on Netflix. I didn't understand anything at the beginning, guys, but I kept going. I kept watching, and finally, my brain started connecting phrases with situations. And this is how I learned memorizing whole phrases and watching the situation that native speakers use these phrases in. So that was a game changer for me. And then obviously I started speaking to native speakers when I was still in Poland. Okay. I met Spanish native speakers in Poland via Facebook groups and Tinder. That's quite a story again. My Spanish was completely broken, but I kept pushing, I kept making mistakes. I was corrected by native speakers, not only by native speakers. This is the key to success, in my opinion, making mistakes, being corrected, full immersion, making sure that this language is in every area of your life. So, I don't know, you go to the gym, you walk on a treadmill, you listen to a podcast in Spanish or in your target language. You can support yourself with effective tools like language apps. You can also find a tutor if you believe that it's gonna help you. I uh, learned Spanish without any tutors. I learned English with tutors. So, you know, it's up to you. And obviously, my friends, you need to practice. How often? Daily. Daily practice. Daily practice is extremely important. So, as James Clear says in his fantastic book, Atomic Habits, 1% better every single day. You don't have to be perfect. You can make mistakes. Yes, you can make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes as well. I know that this video is very long, but to inspire you a bit more, I just wanted to tell you that when I started this YouTube channel, no one was watching. I was creating content for like 2 years without getting views. So I sucked. I sucked as well. And I know that there is a lot to improve when it comes to this YouTube channel. My communication start today without any excuses. If you watch this in January of 2025, this is a perfect moment, but in reality, every moment is perfect to start. Even December 30th. Let me know your opinion in the comments. I love to chat with you guys. Subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up. It's absolutely cost-free for you and it helps me grow and reach more wonderful people just like you. Follow my Instagram for daily insights and I hope to see you in the next video. I'm gonna enjoy my coffee and you enjoy your new year. Happy New Year and make great use of it. Bye bye.